Welcome to my YouTube channel where I discuss spirituality in life, in business, spiritual science, to become a better version of ourselves, but also to expand our businesses, to multiply our businesses, and to live a better and healthier lifestyle. So today I'm going to talk about spirituality in business. Why is it so important? I believe the biggest root of the problem in businesses today with relationships, high staff turnover, permanent conflict, and whatever is going on in businesses is because they've dropped spirituality. You don't need to be a Christian to be spiritual. It could embrace all spiritual beliefs as long as people have that anchor to hold on to, because 99% of us is spiritual. 1% is the human suit. But inside, what feeds us, what drives our performance is emotional intelligence and spiritual intelligence. And if you don't have that and you divorce that from just skills and strengths, you will not receive the full potential that is residing within people. And you will force them to be the spiritual being on a Sunday, but 6 days of the week they are not. This puts them in a void where they lose their genuine, authentic identity. And therefore, now they start to act and perform like you expect them to do, which is driving a toxic culture because it's not on a solid foundation. So spirituality enhances people's purpose, why they're there, what's the purpose within their job description. And that already starts a different foundation. Because if an HR manager can see that she's got a purpose, or he can see he's got a purpose in the HR, and their purpose is to be a bridge between management and employees, is to be not the legal advisor and taking legal steps all the time, but rather communicate, put people together, build bridges, build better relationships, enhance performance, and build a bridge between management and the employees. It is so different from just looking at the job description and trying to fulfill that without being spiritual in the job. So I want to discuss with you some ways spirituality in the business can contribute to a business and how the business will benefit from that. First of all, there's a stronger ethical decision-making process. Because when leaders are guided by values such as honesty, integrity, compassion, and responsibility, they're often more likely to make decisions that build long-term trust rather than pursue short-term goals. Now, we all know how important it is today in business to have compassion, understanding, most of all, to be honest, because you don't find that anymore. We don't find it because spirituality is dropped at the door. So when you implement spirituality, you awaken dormant potential and the kingdom within people, and their whole demeanor, their attitude change. So I go into companies and I work with employees and I speak to them in the spiritual terms, and I can turn them around within one conversation. Why? Because I'm speaking the language of speaking to their soul. And they are now so much more than just a job description. I'm looking at the whole person holistically. And that's why I get the results that I get. And that's why companies don't get the same result, because they just look at performance and figures. But you cannot do that if you're not laying the right foundation for them to become stronger, more ethical, and on purpose. When they have a greater sense of purpose, employees who feel their work has meaning beyond earning a paycheck are often far more motivated and engaged than those that's just working for a paycheck. So in other words, this is your expense. This is your investment. If you don't invest it in the full person, You're only going to get what you're investing in. If you are only chasing performance and figures, that's what you're going to get, but in a limited form. But when you enhance spirituality within a person, you're going to get that hidden potential that's dormant, that's lying there, and they suppress it without even knowing. It creates better workplace relationships because values like empathy, respect, forgiveness, and gratitude can improve teamwork and communication and will reduce conflict in your business. How much better when we are all sitting around a table and we respect each other. We feel empathy towards each other, and emotionally we understand each other's position and who they are and where they're coming from when they give their opinion or when they share their ideas or when they are creative and innovative. But if you're just chasing bottom lines and figures in a cold environment, that's all you're going to get. But it's not going to be the full picture because there's going to be information there that's hidden in a spiritual realm that you didn't tap in. Then spirituality in business creates resilience during challenging situations. So if you have a challenge in your company, either between staff members or staff and a customer, or even economically, these employees who's awaken their spirituality can change that around. They're the ones who will stick it out. They're the ones who will see purpose in the challenge. They're the ones who harvest the wisdom in the challenge. They're the ones who will pray for everybody and change the vibration and frequency of your quantum field of your business. They are the ones who will stay positive and pull the company through difficult times. Spirituality in the business creates a positive organizational culture because it encourages that inclusion, personal growth, and often create environments where employees feel valued and supported. Then it's long-term sustainable because when they can embrace their full self and they live and perform through their spiritual values, it's sustainable. They don't need coaching every now and then to put them back in line, or they fall off the wagon for the smallest thing and you get a psychologist or mentor in. It's sustainable when you teach them the kingdom from within. You teach them how wonderful they are. You teach them to fish and to eat. You don't just teach them to eat and you need to keep on fishing. There's a huge difference in a person's attitude when you awaken the kingdom from within. At the same time, I want to stress, spirituality should not be voluntary and it should not be imposed because obviously there will be employees who do not like that. That should be respected as well. There will be employees with different beliefs. That should be 100% respected. And this will teach employees to actually be tolerant to each other and different beliefs. It's a beautiful environment to create this awareness that we are all one, no matter what. So therefore, it's important that businesses respect diverse beliefs, including religious, spiritual, and non-religious perspectives. But if you embrace spirituality in your business, you're going to employ differently because you are going to screen your prospects, your future employees very differently. You will screen them to complement your business, to bring in skills that complement everybody else, to be on the same wavelength, to complement each other's beliefs. And immediately there will be a different atmosphere and environment within your business because now you are looking for the right people to sit around your table. All-inclusive workspaces focus on shared values such as respect, integrity, and purpose. When we look at values, values actually drives our decision-making process. Automatically, people don't even know about it. So when you get like-minded people in your office through your right screening process and they all share that table, immediately you have a different level of respect. You have shared values, you have integrity, and now each one embrace their purpose. That can only create a very prosperous environment to work in, to grow, to expand, and to thrive in. You can only be successful from there on. So I want to finish with this. I've been developing employees since 1994, and then it went deeper for the last 10 years into spirituality, mindset renewal, and healing trauma and generational beliefs that's holding us back, that's keeping us in the loop of struggle, of victimhood, of anxiety, of depression, and in a system that's not really good for businesses. And most of the employees in your business probably sits there and they use anti-anxiety pill or anti-depression pill, and they cannot cope with their own life and they cannot cope with business, but they need the money and therefore they're there. That's the last energy you want in your business. So when you develop them spiritually to become independent leaders, purposeful, meaningful, impactful, and positive, you create an environment that will thrive. They will look at their personal challenges in a different way and they will handle it differently. They will look at the challenges in the business in a different way and they will manage and handle that without conflict. So it's all in the benefit of a business to embrace spirituality within the business. So making decisions in a workplace on shared values will be so much easier. It will be a conversation without the fire. And that's what we need in businesses. So I want to close with this. Everything I said is to the benefit of a company. Why not embrace that? Why not do that? Because what you've got already is not working. What you've got now is full of challenges. I see it when I go into businesses. The relationships are broken. The way people speak is unconscious. They don't even realize how they speak to each other. The way managers treat people is not motivational at all. The way leaders are stressed out is not good for their health and long-term careers. Why not then embrace spirituality in your business? It is a much bigger picture, but when you develop people at that level, you will see that your business will become so much better to be in. The growth will be unexplainable and it will just absolutely flow. Your clients will receive that and they want more. So now your tree is bearing fruit that everybody wants and is prepared to pay for. I'm Dr. Madeleine Gomes. I'm a Dr. Metaphysical Science, Mindset Alchemist, Pranic Healer, 35 years of business and leadership experience, and I'm a business advisor. Please connect with me for more information. I also provide mental wellness and business coaching to entrepreneurs and businesses. Until next time.